Oh, and if men menstruate, I'm intrigued. Where does the tampon go? How is it implicit bias to believe only women can give birth? Does a man have a uterus? No. Does a man have a cervix? No. Does a man have a vagina? No. Thus, males do not have a menstrual cycle. Let me repeat that. Males do not and cannot have a menstrual cycle. A man does not have a cervix, a uterus, or a vagina. How could a man get pregnant? How would a baby come out of a man? Let's walk through basic biology. Only females have to endure monthly menstruation where the lining of the uterus sheds, causing blood to flow from their uterus through their cervix and out of their vagina. The biological, scientific truth is only women can give birth. During childbirth, the cervix expands so the baby can travel from the uterus through the vagina. A man does not have a cervix, a uterus, or a vagina. It's time to put women in need before your political agenda. This bill also requires state-owned buildings to provide menstrual products in male restrooms, pushing the lie that men can have a menstrual cycle. This is insulting to women. Women are not birthing people, as this bill states, and we must stop using belittling language to erase the reality of things only women can do. This bill replaces all mentions of females and women with the word person, ultimately erasing women and pushing an ideology that men can menstruate or men can give birth. And it is not implicit bias to know that men cannot get pregnant. It is a fact. This bill disregards the inherent dignity of women by attempting to obscure obvious biological distinctions between male and females. This bill allows for birth control and menstrual products to be available to all persons. So let's walk through basic biology. Does a man have a uterus? No. Does a man have a cervix? No. Does a man have a vagina? No. Thus, males do not have a menstrual cycle and males cannot get pregnant. Let me repeat that. Males do not and cannot have a menstrual cycle or get pregnant. Males do not have a menstrual cycle. Let me repeat that. Males do not and cannot have a menstrual cycle. It is truly incomprehensible that today we have elected officials who lack an understanding of basic reproductive biology, that men cannot become pregnant or menstruate. To vote yes on SB 59 is to ignore basic biology. To vote yes on SB 59 would be antithetical to women's rights. SB 59 works to erase the biological truth of what a woman is. Incarcerated men are allowed into women's prisons, and women are being raped and forced into cells with men, 33.8% of which are registered sex offenders. There is no need for menstrual products in male restrooms. Males cannot have a menstrual cycle. If you have a menstrual cycle, you are a woman.
Non-binary people and men of the transgender experience give birth. Thank you for stating the obvious.
I do just want to note, with respect to some of the anti-LGBTQ hate groups who testified today, and that's what they are. Let's just be clear, and especially the one anti-LGBTQ hate group that that is now, I guess, portraying itself as having somehow fought for women's equality. I want to be clear that these same homophobic, transphobic organizations opposing this bill today also oppose equality for women. How many of them are trying to get the ERA put into the Constitution? They're fighting against women's reproductive health. So this whole notion that somehow it's pro-women to be anti-trans is absurd, and I want to thank the author and all of the supporters and sponsors for acknowledging that. Happy to move the bill.
You know, I just hearing the opposition testimony today. Part of my concern coming into this hearing and in regards to this bill really was the hate that really and misinformation that comes out of some folks, some groups, and I really think about individuals that I'm worried about people being harmed, and so I'm happy to support the bill today, but I want us to really recognize that there is fear, there is hate out there, there is a lot of misinformation, and I think that we also need to work towards making sure that that there is, if there's any way kind of prevent any harm for individuals, that we do that as well.
And it makes me sad when we do hear misinformation and what comes across as uncollaborative and just hateful. So I hope that we move this forward and we could all agree that having these in restrooms as women is important. So thank you.